Did you know a Bugatti is not just a car brand, but a timeline of wealth, where every model represents a different level of luxury, exclusivity, and access? Most people see it as just an expensive car company, but in reality, every Bugatti ever made sits inside a very specific structure of luxury that stretches across generations of wealth, engineering, and rarity. And almost every single car in this ladder is already sold out before most people even realize it exists. To understand it properly, you don't look at Bugatti as a list of cars. You look at it as a progression of luxury. And it begins with the car that started everything in the modern world. Legacy origin: the Atlantic era, pre-modern Bugatti. Before the modern hypercar era ever existed, there was a different kind of Bugatti. The Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic. This is not part of the Veyron or Chiron lineage. This is something older, rarer, and closer to automotive art than modern engineering. Built in the 1930s, only a very small number of Atlantics were ever produced, and each one is treated today as a museum-level artifact rather than a typical collector car. It represents a completely different kind of status. Not modern wealth, not performance records, but historical prestige. Owning something like this means you are not participating in a modern luxury market. You are preserving one of the most valuable automotive designs ever created. It is the origin point of Bugatti's identity. Before the speed records, before the billion-dollar hypercar era, before the modern status ladder even began, this is where the legend starts. Veyron era 2005-2015. The modern Bugatti story begins with the Bugatti Veyron. When it was introduced in 2005, the automotive world didn't really know how to respond. A production car reaching over 400 km per hour was not normal. A car with 4 turbochargers, an 8.0-litre W16 engine and over 1,000 horsepower was not normal. And a car costing around $1.5 to $2.5 million was completely unheard of at the time. The Veyron was not designed to compete with other cars. It was designed to redefine what a car could even be. At that time, owning one meant something very specific. It meant you were part of the earliest group of modern hypercar wealth. Not just rich, but early to a new kind of global status. Veyron Evolution models. Bugatti Veyron Super Sport. This was the ultimate evolution of the Veyron, around 1,200 plus horsepower, world record-breaking speed version. One of the most important Veyrons ever built. Owning this meant you weren't just early, you were at the top of the first generation. Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport and Vitesse. These were the convertible versions. They added open-top driving, slightly refined aerodynamics, higher exclusivity. They became more lifestyle-focused versions of the Veyron platform. Veyron Special Collector Tier, Les Légendes. Then came something much rarer, the Les Légendes de Bugatti series. Only 6 cars exist, each honouring a figure from Bugatti history. Jean Bugatti Edition, Ettore Bugatti Edition, Meo Costantini Edition, Black Bess Edition, Rembrandt Bugatti Edition, Jean-Pierre Wimille Edition. These were not just cars, they were historical tributes built on the Veyron platform. And above that sits one of the rarest Veyron tributes ever, Bugatti Veyron FKP37. Only 3 units exist. It was created to honour Ferdinand Carl Piëch, the man who revived Bugatti in the modern era. Owning this means owning. Extreme rarity, direct legacy connection, historical importance. At this point, the Veyron becomes more than a car. It becomes a museum-level artifact. The modern billionaire standard, Chiron era 2016-2022. After the Veyron came the Bugatti Chiron. This was not a revolution in concept, but a refinement of everything that came before it. More power, more control, more design maturity, more presence. The Chiron carried forward the same W16 engine philosophy, but elevated everything around it. The price moved to around $3 million or more, depending on specification. And unlike the Veyron, the Chiron became the global symbol of modern hypercar ownership. Chiron variants expanded status layer, Bugatti Chiron Sport. A lighter, more agile version of the Chiron. It focused on handling rather than just straight-line speed. Bugatti Chiron Supersport 300+. This is one of the most important Bugattis ever built. Over 480 km per hour real-world top-speed run. Long-tail aerodynamic design, extreme high-speed engineering focus. This represents the peak of the W16 speed philosophy. Bugatti Chiron Pur Sport, built for cornering and track feel. Less top speed, more aggression in handling. Bugatti Chiron Profile 1 of 1. This is one of the most important missing pieces. Only one unit exists in the world, built as a unique transition model sold at auction for extreme value. This sits in the same category as the highest Bugatti rarities ever made. Dividing status. Collector hypercars Bugatti Divo, only 40 units exist. Price around $5 million. It is built for cornering and exclusivity rather than top speed. Owning it means you are already beyond normal billionaire status. Bugatti Center DSE, only 10 units exist. Price around $9 million. It is a tribute to the EB110 era and represents extreme rarity. At this level, ownership is not about visibility, it is about near-invisible exclusivity. One of one status. Absolute peak Bugatti La Voiture Noire, only one unit exists in the world. Price around $18 million plus. This is not part of any production line. There is no second version, no replication, no continuation. It exists as a single creation. At this level, ownership becomes absolute. It is not luxury anymore. It is uniqueness itself. The final W16 chapter, end of an era. Bugatti Mistral. Around 99 units, price around $5 million. This is the final roadster built on the W16 engine. It represents the emotional end of a generation. Bugatti Bolide track-only hypercar. Price around $4 million. Built purely for racing environments. It represents engineering without compromise. The future status. New generation Bugatti Tourbillon, price around $4 to $4.6 million. This is the next evolution of Bugatti, a shift away from the W16 into a hybrid future. Even here, most allocations are already reserved before public demand fully opens. It represents the next generation of hypercar wealth, and almost every single one is already sold out or allocated before the public even gets access. So what looks like a car brand on the surface is actually a full ladder of status, built across generations of wealth, rarity, and engineering evolution.